My most conservative take is that I don't believe that old people should be in charge of anything, period. Like, after a certain age, I don't care how intelligent, wise, or socially aware you are, your decisions impact other people more than it will impact and affect you. Like, take climate change, for example. Boomers grew up with that shit. Like, that was something that they discovered, and they've known about it from its inception, and still to this day make policies and run their businesses as if it does not exist, because it won't affect them. Love and respect for the elders, but it's time for y'all to be advisors instead of leaders, chiefs, executives, etc. I don't even think y'all should be driving, but that's another video.
Surprise, boomers are ruining the economy for us once again. This time, we're talking about housing. Boomers control 51% of household wealth in this country. Millennials have about 10%. So when you're bidding on your level up home, you're not just competing with buyers, you're competing with people who don't even need a mortgage. Half of boomers over 70 pay in full cash. No loan, no bank, no competition. Here's the part that's making me mad. Empty nest boomers, those with just 1 or 2 people in a home, own 28% of every 3+ bedroom home in America. Families actually raising kids in that same size home, only 16%. So 1 or 2 retirees are sitting on a house built for 5, while your family is crammed into a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. And the biggest problem is they're not moving. The house is paid off, or they have a super low rate. Nobody's really making them move. So with them hoarding this inventory, it's restricting the supply, which is causing prices to continue to go up, or just not even have those homes available on the market. I'm curious, do you think this trend is going to continue, or will we start to see a little bit more of that supply unlocked as boomers age more and more?
Why do some older people act like boundaries are optional? Aging is a blessing. It really is. To be on this earth long enough to see your knees start filing HR complaints and your back to start unionizing, that's a blessing. But we got to talk about another portion of this. Because I feel like we're in a crisis point right now with a lot of older people that don't know how to manage their emotions, and they're always crashing out. It's like they walk around with this sense of entitlement, like they paid for the world in cash. It's like they think boundaries is a brand of margarine. No, mama, I meant what I said. No. And a lot of older people do whatever they want, say whatever they want, act however they want, right? Because they say with age, it gives you the luxury to just live your life however you want to live it. Now, the problem is when they're told no, they crash out like a child. They don't know what to do with that. And I'm confused because these are boomers, the generation that says they built everything with their bare hands. And yet somehow they still don't know how to act. Make that make sense? And they're always mad, and I don't know what they're mad about. Like, what are they angry about exactly? Because the system, like this mess that we're living in right now, well, they helped to build it. They laid the bricks. They drew the blueprint. So why are they mad at everybody else? What did we do? Now, it isn't all older people, but I'm asking the question, what the hell is going on? Why are they acting this way? Why do some age like fine wine and then others like spoiled milk? What is that?
Are baby boomers really the problem, or are they being blamed for issues they didn't create? Every time the economy, housing, or retirement comes up, fingers seem to point at one generation. But is that the full story? Some people argue the real issue isn't age, it's the people making the laws and policies. Let's take a listen to what they have to say.
I'm sorry, but boomers ruined the economy for us. Boomers will say, just work hard and you'll be able to buy a house, when they bought a house it was $40,000. College was cheap, rent was cheap, groceries were even cheaper. Now rent is like $1,800 for a studio apartment, but somehow we're just magically supposed to save money. Like, genuinely, how are we supposed to get ahead in this economy? Back then, you could support a family on one income. You could buy a house working at Sears full-time, but now that just seems so unattainable. Budgeting in America in 2026 is basically survival at this point. You literally have to have a budget. You literally have to know where every single dollar of your money is going. This year I started using the Mine app and forced myself to make a budget because I literally was having no money left over after rent and groceries and other bills, stressing me out so much. Do I have a ton left over now? No, but I at least know where it's going. If you're struggling in 2026, I promise you, you are not alone.
I honestly think that, Gen Zs do have a point, because I do see in comment section from boomers where they would say that, just get a second job or live a certain way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, everything costs more. Rent costs more, houses cost more. So I can clearly see like Gen Z is a generation that really have it hard, in my honest opinion. As an elder millennial. I can clearly see where they're coming from. And I think sometimes boomers can be a little bit more sympathetic with them as opposed to judging Gen Zs for their perspective.
Someone tell me why the fuck boomers have to ruin everything. My husband and I are in the market to buy a new house, and every house that I look at that's in our price range was purchased in 1971 for $35,000, and they want $500,000 for this busted ass house that hasn't been fixed since it was purchased, hasn't been updated, hasn't been renovated. Why are you so fucking greedy? You have Social Security, you have Medicare, you have a pension. You don't have student loans. You want $500,000 of mine at these asinine interest rates for your fucking time capsule? My uncle is our real estate agent and has us set up like on an email list. And guess what? My favorite part about this fascist boomer fucking regime is all of the emails I get. Price drop, price drop, price drop, price drop. Still not low enough. Still not low enough. You don't owe a dime on that house. You're set for life. I'm going to have student loan payments until I'm 87 years old with no Social Security. But at least I have a 1976 time capsule that you purchased for $32,000. Go fuck yourself.
You know what really grinds my gears as a elder Gen Z woman? Trying to explain to my boomer relatives that working a retail job is not the same as what it was in the 1980s and 90s. So for context, my aunt used to be a manager at JCPenney's for years and years and years, for like between the 80s and the 90s. And she was like, well, it can't be any like different from what it is now. I'm like, oh, well, now they can, when you say part-time, they can work you 38 hours, 0.50, and say you're working part-time so they don't have to give you full hours. But when you tell them like, oh, like, no, like I have other obligations like school, they go, well, then we can't hire you. Unless you're giving your body and soul to this company, we can't hire you. And she's like, well, that just doesn't seem right. I just don't think they would do that. And I'm like, nah, they do it all the time. And then you get the job in retail, and then they work you to death. Like 10 to 12 tasks for this one person to do, and then try to get you to work later. And she's like, well, there's rules, and they can't do that, and it's illegal. And I'm like, well, I understand, but they can. And she's like, well, that's retaliation. I'm like, no, it's actually not. They just say it's performance-based, and they just like determine hours that way. So you could work as hard as you can, but if you tell them you have an obligation, they just give you either crap hours. And she's like, well, they wouldn't do that. You know, a lot of managers and companies would just like be for the employee and make sure that their needs are taken care of. And I'm like, no, that doesn't happen anymore. And she's like, no, but like, that's why they have rules for that, laws. And I'm like, I know, but it's happening still. And she's like, well, why don't you just go talk to HR? And I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
This is for the boomers. You relating everything to your personal experience is the reason why you don't understand a fucking thing about what's going on right now. Your kids try to talk to you and tell you about their financial struggles, and you always find a way to dismiss them and say that, oh, it's because you're buying avocado toast. Oh, it's because you spend money on entertainment. Oh, you like, wait a minute, like, what the fuck are we living for? Of course I spend money on entertainment and things I like. You think I'm working just to pay bills? Are you fucking nuts? Shit costs a lot of money now. This isn't your heyday when you could go buy a brand new car for under $10,000 and a brand new house for $30,000 or $40,000. This ain't them days. Them days are gone. So the same rules and the same moves that you took to get to where you in life doesn't equate to us now, because all of that shit that I just named costs 5 times as much. A brand new car, even a decent car, you're talking $30,000, $40,000, okay? And that's at base, because they done went out of control with the price of cars in 2025. A brand new house, on average, nationwide, is going to run you at least $300,000. And that's for a basic ass fucking house. Don't have a big family, then you're going to need something that's closer to $400,000 or almost $500,000. Everything costs more. Food costs more. Gas costs more. This is what y'all don't understand, but you're always trying to tell us that we're doing something wrong. It's our fault, not the greedy cocksuckers you guys voted for, but it's our fucking fault. I guess what, for being born? You guys get online and talk the most shit, and you don't know anything about economics. You don't know anything about geopolitics. You don't know anything about, manufacturing and distribution and why all of this shit is costing us so much. You don't know anything. You just know that back in your day, you can go get a burger for $1.50 and your rent was $300 a month. That's what you know. We don't know that. Companies aren't taking care of people like they used to. Companies are not paying more than they used to. And what you also got to understand why some of these people have the attitudes they do. The reason why a lot of these young people have the attitudes that they do is because productivity done skyrocketed since your fucking day, okay? Productivity done skyrocketed by 300 or 400% since the time you were these kids' age, okay? And what does that mean? That means that each employee is doing more work, simply. Each employee is doing more work than what they used to do. These kids are fucking working harder than you, okay? And they're having to work more hours because their base pay doesn't pay them anything. No one making minimum wage can afford a 2-bedroom apartment and at the market rate in any of the 50 states. So how the fuck is that their fault? With the nationwide, rent being close to like around $2,000. But at the same time, that's what they're gonna gross, a month working at their damn job before taxes. They don't even have enough to pay the fucking rent. But you think they're supposed to be in there, oh, jolly good, sir. How are you, mate? That nigga or something? No, nobody's gonna fucking be like that when you got a manager on your ass. And then because they're paying such shitty wages, people don't stay at the job long. So you end up having to do more work because people done called off and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's going to give anybody a bad attitude. And then not to mention you fucking people come in there and you dump all over these people. You go in there with your attitudes and you're upset by whatever you got going on in your life and you dump on them, you know what I mean? And give them attitude because they accidentally fucked your sandwich up, because they're trying to do so many things at one time. That's what you guys don't fucking understand. You don't know who the last customer was. Just because you went in there pleasant don't mean that the bitch that came in there before you was pleasant. They probably gave them a hard fucking time, and that's why they have an attitude now that you're there. We are not paying these people enough money to do these basic jobs. We are not. And I'm sorry, y'all need to take that old tired ass logic and that bootstrap bullshit and throw it right out the fucking door, okay? Because y'all send a billionaire money to help pay his legal fees. So don't tell me that poor people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but a billionaire can't go in his own bank to help fundraise or finance something. Get the fuck out of here. You guys are such hypocrites. You're crabs in the bucket. You want to keep people behind. And you want to keep people from getting ahead. And that's what a lot of the fucking boomers did. They got their success, and then when it was their turn in political office and their turn, running the city and the state, they made everything more expensive. They changed the fucking rules to make it harder on you, even though it was easy for their asses to get there. They inherited a good-ass economy at the end of World War II that they didn't have to work for. It was just good because war is good for manufacturing. A lot of factories and a lot of stuff and a lot of people are working and a lot of money's flowing and all of that shit when war is going on. So it's very profitable. That's why we fucking stay at war. But y'all don't understand that. Y'all only understand you want to call people lazy because you feel like they didn't do what you did, that they didn't do what you did. My bad. And now, like I told you, they're fucking working harder than you. They are. Just ask anybody. We just all seen a woman go viral on the internet. She was running an entire fucking Burger King by herself. And when I say the whole thing, I mean the whole motherfucking thing. If the pop ran out in the lobby, she went out there. If somebody spilled something, she went out there. If she was ringing people up, she was flipping burgers, she was dropping fries, and she was managing the fucking restaurant all at one time, working her ass off. because they can't get quality people because they want to pay shit wages. And the way they keep getting away with this shit is because you motherfuckers keep telling people that they're not worth anything, even though the lion's share of fucking jobs in the country are restaurant and retail jobs. Most jobs, the manufacturing comes like third, because we don't manufacture shit here really. But restaurant and retails make up the majority of jobs in the country. And you've all collectively got together and decided those jobs wasn't worth any fucking thing. So you devalued them. And in the process, you devalued those people. And now they can't pay for their own fucking living, and they got you assholes after them. That's why I said, Boomer, you don't even understand. You wouldn't even begin to fucking understand. This is not your heyday. Shit doesn't cost a nickel anymore, okay? If you want to actually have an honest conversation with people, start by shutting the fuck up and listening, and let them tell you about what they're actually experiencing, because they're doing it now. Not when you fucking did it in the 90s. Not when you did it in the 80s. They're doing the shit right now. So they know what's going on in the industry. They know how hard they're struggling to make ends meet. And you want to talk to them and lecture them about something you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So if you want to learn something, Boomer, shut the fuck up and listen, and then go do some research and find out what people are going through now. How are things different now than when you were coming up? And then maybe you'll understand.
So the boomers are finally figuring out there's high prices. Well, the fact is, I don't think they actually missed the memo. You think you really understand what's going on in the economy? Many boomers aren't any more prepared for retirement than you are. See, the fact is they work 40 plus years. So imagine working 40 plus years. You worked at a factory, you went to school, you bought a house, and guess what? After 40 plus years, you expect you're supposed to retire, but guess what? You never saved no money in all those 40 plus years. You never saved and invested in anything. So guess who else is heading down the path? Millennials, Gen Alpha, Gen Z. You name the generation, it's always the same. So yes, now they're sitting there seeing that coffee went up $17 or whatever grocery things that they had going on is the prices are increasing, and it affects everyone. The property taxes, all those different things. The fact of the matter is, just recently, homelessness went up, and you would think that was from the unaffordable housing crisis, and there is a hint of it, but the other piece is, don't let it fool you, the migration status. A lot of those immigrants are taking over the homeless shelters, and it's putting a lot more people on the street. But what are we going to do about the boomers and this unaffordable living and their great generation who they had everything handed to them, right? But they still didn't save and invest no money. No matter how you slice it, regardless of everything, as we pull into yet another year, and I'm going to say it every year to the day I die, 365 days, you have to invest. Start with your index funds. Then you can expand out, but you're never going to get out of this situation with your money without saving and invest your money. And oh, by the way, you do need an emergency fund, because guess what? Something about when you live life long enough, you realize things just happen.
I don't think they are, this period of our time, I call this the last gasp of the most selfish generation in American history. The baby boomers. The most selfish generation in American history. The most self-centered generation in American history. The least sacrificing generation in American history.
Yeah, history books are not going to look too fondly on the baby boomer generation. They are definitely going to go down as the most selfish generation, and a generation that made it worse for the people after them. These people refuse to pass the torch. They refuse to give up power. They refuse to give us anything. They refuse to raise our wages. They refuse to make college more affordable. And every time you tell them about your problem, they just tell you, pick it up by the bootstrap. We did it back in our day. Meanwhile, they were able to pay off their college debt with 1 to 2 summers working. People be working for 10 to 15 years and barely touch their college debt. Like, the way they have fucked up this system for us, we will never forgive these people. It's like the game has been changed. They played on easy or normal mode, and we are playing on hard or Hall of Fame mode. And it's exhausting trying to explain that to people. And then never mind how much rent has gone up. Never mind how many more expenses we have derived as an adult. They didn't have to pay for the cell phone bill and all the internet and other shit that we have to. There are so many expenses in our lives, and they do not give us the resources to be successful. And it's just exhausting. And then they tell you, well, I did it, so you can do it. But if the roles are reversed and they had to live what we're going through right now, they would have been given up. So yes, baby boomers, you will go down as the most selfish generation that made the generations after you worse off.
What really grinds my gears about the boomer generation, aka the generation that needs to fucking retire because they're ruining everything that they built. You know, I'm realizing that the boomer generation loves talking shit on the millennial and Gen Z and even the Gen Xers a little bit, but for why we're crybabies and why we can't get our lives together and why we don't know anything. It's because you fucking boomers didn't teach us anything, nor did you give us the resources or the tools or that we need to be able to pay our bills and to have a job. We don't want to have a job because y'all are overbearing and y'all set up systems that don't make no fucking sense. And now, and it's the same generation that's blaming our generation for not having a big enough work ethic. It's the same generation that keeps price hiking every motherfucking thing we gotta fucking buy, bro. Look at this. Three fucking dollars for a box of Swiss rolls. I remember Swiss rolls used to be $1 for a pack of 8. I remember when it went up to $2, and I was like, "This is too much." But okay, $3 they done lost their fucking mind. And you want me to buy a home and buy a car and have kids and all this other shit. I can't even go to the store and buy snacks at an appropriate fucking price. And that's the boomer generation's fault. So y'all can sit over here and be mad, but y'all created our generation. Y'all created the mindset we have because y'all want us to fucking go through the Great Depression era like y'all did and shit. But there ain't no fucking wars being fought, bitch. It's like y'all want to relive all that traumatic ass shit again and make us live through it. Fucking retire, please.
This message is for Gen Z. We baby boomers, we screwed you guys over big time. You either come from two kinds of households. One like ours, where my husband and I acknowledged to our kids that we really screwed them over. Life was a lot easier for us when I was a kid financially. Or you come from the kind of household where your parents or grandparents are like, "You think you had it bad? Look at how bad we had it." So I looked some stuff up. In 1973, when I was a kid, and my dad was a factory rat, he worked a machine making toilet paper. The price of a house compared to your average median income was a ratio of 3-1. And in 1973, home ownership was a standard milestone. Okay. Today, the price of a house to the income ratio is 5-2. And owning a home is a major financial hurdle. In 1973, a middle-class family could afford to raise 3 children on a single income. And after paying their house payments, their health care costs, and taxes, they were still left with 50% of their discretional income, like our family. That's how we were able to afford a built-in pool and go to Disney World and all sorts of things. Today, after paying these 3 things, house payment, health care, and taxes, it eats up 75% of your discretionary income. And providing a family of 3 children a comfortable lifestyle is now considered a high income luxury. And speaking of college, in 1973, you could work a full-time summer job and pay off an entire year of college and room and board and books. Today, we're leaving you with decades of debt. Speaking of healthcare, up until 1973, when President Nixon and Republicans passed the HMO Act of 1973, healthcare companies were nonprofit. We barely paid that much in healthcare premiums each year, and we had virtually no out-of-pocket costs. Today, paying for healthcare is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. And here's one more fun fact. In 1973, the cost of a new car cost roughly 26% of your annual median income for a middle-class family. Today, it's 60%. We screwed you guys over, passing Citizens United, union busting, allowing healthcare companies to become for profit, and so much more. You're not going to hear me tell you guys you have it easier than I did. I had it a lot easier than you guys have it. And from me to you, I am so sorry about this, and I'm fighting to change this.
I really do appreciate the boomer who is saying that she's sorry to Gen Zs, as opposed to blame them, as opposed to judge them, because she truly gets it, because everything costs too much. From not enough wages to houses being $500,000. It's really, really a difficult time, and I really do appreciate her for saying, that she's sorry to Gen Zs. So, whether you disagree, these conversations matter because they affect everyone. Do you think baby boomers deserve the criticism they receive, or is it the focus on the wrong people? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments. If you enjoy honest reaction videos and conversations about the issues shaping everyday life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.